Alright, in this video, I want to talk about what I think is going to happen with Trump. The first thing I would like to say is that I think a lot of people that voted for him, that are on the right, need to remember or realize in the first place that it was Trump who brought in the whole, uh, what was it, 2 weeks or something to stop the spread, and then it became 30 days to stop the spread. He brought that stuff in and pushed for the snakebite jab and said that they got one done in record time because of him. If it wasn't for him, they wouldn't have got one of those jabs that you could take. And he's the one that pushed for it. He did all that, and I know a lot of people on the right would say, "Oh, he was misguided by his advisors." But if you said that same thing about Obama, Biden, or Kamala were just misguided by their advisors, you would be calling it BS. So, be consistent and fair with how you're going to apply these kind of things. And this started when he was actually in office. And I believe it was done because he was leaving, and then the left was going to come in, because I believe the left and right are working together. And when Biden comes in, they continue, this whole program and doing the vaccine thing and the social distancing and all this. And I believe this was done because if Biden is doing it, the left is doing it, it would encourage the left to accept this snake bite. Because what ended up happening is that more people who took it ended up getting sick and dying from it than those who didn't. Not to mention other things that would happen because of strange blood clots and other strange things that are actually still going on with people who have taken this snake bite and then later on taken boosters for it. But it all started with this guy. He's the guy who set this whole thing up. And like I was saying, for the left to actually take it, because I believe part of the plan was to remove some of the left and the left voters, a plan to help him get reelected. And what he was saying during his speeches before he got elected this second time here, he was saying that, "Hey, Christians, I love you, Christians, but I'm not Christian, but you go out and vote, and if you go vote, you'll never have to vote again. We'll fix it so that you don't have to vote again." Why wouldn't you have to vote again? What's up with that? There's something strange with that, right? Why wouldn't you have to vote again? And then he talks about, having more than, 2 terms and this and that, and talking about immunity and all this. Well, I've been saying that this guy's the Antichrist. And one of the things that is said about the Antichrist, or I know some people don't like to use the term Antichrist, but generally people refer to the man of sin, the son of perdition, this idol shepherd, as the Antichrist. So that's what I'm going to call him. This Antichrist, as described in Daniel, is going to change times and laws. And I believe that that's what Trump is going to do. He's going to change things so that he has more power and authority, so that either there isn't an election anymore and somehow he stays in, or something along those lines, that he stays in power. He basically becomes a king, because when that first seal is open in Revelation, when everything starts, what happens is that this Antichrist fellow receives a crown, and then he goes forth conquering and to conquer, right? But he says he does it with a bow, so a bow, but it doesn't mention anything about arrows, a sword. A bow can be in reference to a covenant, like the rainbow was a covenant with God and the earth, that he wasn't going to destroy it again with a flood of water. So he's going about with his, peace deals and covenants to establish, peace, as he keeps saying, without me, it's World War III, right? So I believe that's what is going to happen. I don't know if he's going to wait for the end of the 4 years to really push that and make that happen. But I believe that's what's going to happen. That's why he is, gets along with the dictator of North Korea and Russia there. What's his name? Kim and Putin there, because he wants to learn how to be a dictator himself. Because Putin, when he got in office, he was elected, but then somehow was able to change things so that now he is the king or dictator of Russia. And I thought I had that off, so let me turn the airplane mode on there. Sorry about that. Getting notifications and whatnot. Doing this on my phone and my laptop at the same time, just in case people were wondering what that was about. But yeah, he's probably learning from them how to do the same thing here in America. And I believe that's what's going to happen. I believe this is the guy. As the Bible tells us, I believe it's Isaiah 14, where it's talking about Satan rising himself up, that people are going to look down on him and say, this is the guy, this is the man. And that's exactly what you think of when you look at Trump. You're like, really, this is him? This is that man of sin? The Antichrist? Really? It's like, yeah, he is that pompous and arrogant enough to claim to be God. I would have no doubt that he would claim such a thing. And there's a lot more that could be said about this stuff, like his uncle or his father got the technology left over from Nikola Tesla. Different stuff tied into with the Kennedys and even with the royalty of England. He converted to Judaism. Israel loves him over there. All these things that can be said to add to, hey, this could be the guy. He's the one that did the Abraham Accords to try to bring peace over there in the Middle East. The more you look at this Antichrist fella, the more it lines up with this guy who speaks with a forked tongue and contradicts himself. Tries to say that he's a Christian, but he doesn't come to God asking for forgiveness. Well, then he's not a Christian. He's obviously a wolf in sheep's clothing. He's a snake. And he's suckering in a lot of these foolish Christians who think they need to be political and be in the world, when God tells us not to be of the world, to be in the world but not of it. Right? Friendship with the world is enmity with God. We're to go about God's business, not the God of this world's business, because Satan is the God of this world and the nations of this world are his. You're getting caught up on this with the left and the right. The left and right are working together. It's the same way Hitler came into power. The left destroyed Germany. It got real bad there with the economy and even with homosexuality and all kinds of crazy stuff going on there, prostitution and all this, to where when Hitler came in and changed things around, he was looked at as a savior and as a hero, bringing Germany back to glory, or as Trump likes to say, make America great again. It's the same story, and here it is. And a lot of people seem to be oblivious to it. And what's crazy is that it's the Christians that are supporting this. When we're told in the scriptures that the Antichrist rises up among the Christians, they look at someone like Obama and the left as the Antichrist, when the left will openly admit they're not Christian, or openly accept Islam and atheism and Buddhism and all that stuff. Obviously, they're not coming up out of the Christians, right? It's not from the unbelievers that the Antichrist rises up, but from the Christians themselves. He's the false shepherd leading the flock. And he's right here, and the lukewarm church is following after him. No problem, as if he is Jesus. They make a lot of references to him being Jesus after condemning all the references to Obama being the Messiah. They condemn that, but then they go around and they do the same thing for Trump. So what I believe is going to be happening soon is things to actually change times and the laws so that he can set himself up as a king. Maybe at first it's to add a year or two to your term in office. Maybe that's how it starts. He's changing times, right? Then he changes the laws where there is no elections. But I believe that's what's going to be happening. I believe the rapture's right around the corner, and after the rapture, when that first seal is open, this guy's going to receive a crown. He's going to be the king of America. Probably going to be joining Canada and Mexico in some union there too. With all his covenants that he's going to create. So with all that being said, thanks for watching, and take care.